Good morning, everybody. I'm Russ Lewis in the KHOU newsroom. We are breaking in here on all of our digital platforms right now to bring you up to speed on our breaking news story today. A lot of information here we've just learned involves a deputy who has been shot in Liberty County. We also have some schools that are not out for summer break yet, and they are on lock-in, Cleveland and Tarkington ISDs this morning. So we want to update you on everything that happened. We'll start with what we know here and how this all started. It happened about an hour and a half ago at about 8 this morning. We had a guy who walked into what we believe is a plumbing company on FM 321. Again, this is up in Liberty County. And we know that there is a woman who is dead at that location, at that business. So this guy walks in with a gun, shoots her. As we see Air 11 aerials here of one of our scenes. So we have a guy who shoots the woman. A couple of other guys walk into the business. They were both shot as well. A short time later, a deputy responding to this scene, his deputy's name we know now, Richard Whitten. This is a Liberty County deputy, veteran of that force, has been on for several years. He spots the suspect in the parking lot of a veterinary clinic. Again, not far away. We believe it's on the same highway, FM 321 in Liberty County. And they exchange gunfire, and the deputy is shot in the neck, exchanging gunfire with this suspect. That deputy has been was flown to Memorial Hermann Med Center. We have Janelle Fort there for us this morning, waiting for any updates on his condition. We don't have those yet. So this gunman is still on the loose out there in Liberty County. That is the important thing. And we have a name on this guy and what he may be driving. So we want to give you that right now. His name is, again, this is who they're looking for, Pablo Vido, V-I-D-O. Pablo Vido, driving a 2004 white Mercury. That is his vehicle. And he was last seen there on FM 321 in Liberty County. And because this guy is still out there, we have Cleveland and Tarkington ISDs both under lock-in right now. All school buildings, all staff, all kids. And what a lock-in means versus a lockout. A lock-in is, what that means is everyone has to stay inside. Nobody who is at school right now is getting out of the building where they are. And that is to keep them safe. And we're told, at least in one of those districts, it's going to stay that way until this guy is apprehended. So they are concerned enough, obviously, with somebody who has shot a deputy, killed a woman, and shot a couple of other people. They want this guy in handcuffs before they're going to let kids and staff out of the building here. We believe it's the last week of school up in these districts. We haven't heard from the districts any more specifically about what's going on other than they're keeping everybody inside. Generally, when these things happen, they don't want parents showing up at school to pick up kids. They're not letting anybody out. But the kids are safe because they're keeping them inside until this guy is apprehended. And you're looking here at a picture of him right now. This is the suspect, Pablo Vido, who they're looking for, who they believe is the one who killed a woman and shot these other people, including a deputy, Richard Whitten. So we're staying on top of this on all of our digital platforms right now, on TV as well. We have crews spread out all over the place. We had Janelle Ford just arriving at Memorial Hermann, waiting for any kind of update on this deputy who was shot again in the neck. We'll also answer your questions if you have any. If we have the information, if I'm just skipping over something, or if you're just joining us and you want to know things, write in and we'll try to answer them best we can. So, Misty Creel, you're asking, it was 4 people, and yes, that's what we know right now. A woman who has died, 2 men who came into that plumbing business and were shot as well, and the deputy. So as far as we know, the 2 men and the deputy are alive. The woman is not. They identified this guy rather quickly, which leads you to believe they got a good license plate on his car, or this guy is known to somebody whom he encountered this morning up there in Liberty County. Lori Hamilton, you're asking what district? Cleveland and Tarkington are the 2 we've heard from that say they are on lock-in right now, meaning all students and staff are being kept in the buildings where they are right now to keep them safe until this man is apprehended. A white Mercury, go back up here, Jaime. Mark is asking about a white Mercury. Yes, that is what we believe he is driving. According to police, 2004 white Mercury is the vehicle. Don't have a license plate for you, but you can see the picture of this guy and the vehicle. Hopefully that's enough to get him. Megan is asking, this is all going on around Tarkington. Yes. I have the address here, but I can't tell you exactly where that is in Liberty County as far as what city that might be in or town. But the address of the plumbing company where this guy first walked in is 26311 FM 321. Sandy's asking the direction he might have gone or where he's from. Don't know that right now, Sandy. Sorry about that. We just have a description on the vehicle. Can't tell you which way he took off. Again, this deputy encountered him at a veterinary clinic, and I don't have the address on that, but it is close by this plumbing company. The address I just gave you, it's also on FM 321. So that's where the deputy encountered him. I don't know which direction that is, though, from the plumbing company, but that might indicate which direction he was heading. Any other questions we have from folks? We're trying to answer these as they come in. Yes, it is, Carol, terrible. Did he know the lady who was killed? Robin's asking that. We don't know, Robin. We don't. That was one of my first questions as I started getting briefed on this. Was this some sort of robbery, or did he know somebody in that business he was targeting? Can't tell you that. They have identified this man rather quickly, though, and that might be an indication, but don't want to speculate on why he was in that plumbing business this morning at about 8 o'clock with a gun. Is a helicopter also searching? I would assume that officers have a helicopter up. I don't know for sure. Our helicopter landed so it could refuel, so it can get back up there over the scene, and we can help look as well for that white Mercury 2004 that this suspect is believed to be driving. The vet clinic, Alana is saying, is towards Cleveland. So if we're talking about the same vet clinic there on FM 321, you might be right. Is this a recent picture of what he's wearing? I would assume no. That looks like, I don't know what kind of picture. I'm looking at the picture here. It could be a driver's license photo. It could be a mugshot from a previous arrest. Don't know, but no, this is not. This is this guy is known, obviously, because they had his name so quickly, and we got a picture about as fast as we ever do from law enforcement. This happened very quickly. Jaime, you want anything?
People were asking what time did this all start?
About 8 o'clock.
About 8 o'clock?
8 o'clock this morning. So just a little more than an hour and a half ago, this all happened. I mean, you were just joining us. We're talking about this man who walked into a plumbing place. I don't know if it's a plumbing supply or an actual plumbing shop, but on FM 321 in Liberty County, shot a woman dead, shot 2 other men who walked into the business, and then shot a deputy in the neck who encountered this man at a veterinary clinic in the parking lot just a short distance away as the deputy was responding to this shooting this morning. We have Tarkington and Cleveland ISDs on lockdown, big difference. You're not going to get in or out. The kids are all being kept in the buildings. We don't know what he was wearing. A couple people are asking that. We're still waiting on information from Liberty County about that, and they'll get the information as quickly to us as they can. They want this guy caught as much as anybody, so any information they can get out there for all you folks who live up in that area and may see this guy. What you're looking for right now is, if you're looking at your screen on your mobile device or your computer, is this guy's name is Pablo Vito. If you know him, there's his picture, and what you're looking for is a 2004 white Mercury. Of course, if you spot that vehicle anywhere up there in Liberty County, you should call 911 immediately. Get deputies or police over there to pull this guy over and get him in handcuffs if they can do that quickly. We hope they can. The plumbing places in Cleveland, the vet is considered Tarkington, all have a Cleveland address. That's from Billy Hill Jr. Thank you, Billy. If we're talking about the same businesses, then we appreciate that information. The plumbing company is 26311 FM 321. And I'm being told here it comes up from the PIO, the Public Information Officer out in Liberty County, it comes up as B Dependable Plumbing, the letter B. Yes. Mona's asking about putting out like an Amber Alert for the suspect, something similar.
If you are signed up for the KHOU 11 News app, you should have gotten a alert with this suspect's photograph. If you're not, we recommend that you do so that you can stay aware of these sort of updates and any sort of more details we can provide
Right.
about the search for him.
And I think what Mona's kind of alluding to is why don't police have an Amber Alert-like alert for suspects like this? And to my knowledge, they don't. They put it out there when necessary, like they have with us. They rely on us to get that word out. But you're right, there's not some alert that's going to come over your TV or your mobile device to like a missing child would. So the status on the deputy. Debbie's asking that. Debbie, we don't know right now. We have Janelle Ford over at Memorial Hermann Med Center, where that deputy was flown and is getting treatment right now. We know he was shot in the neck, and that's all we know at this point. We do know his name. Richard Witten is the deputy's name. We understand he's been on the force several years up there in Liberty County, and of course we're praying for him and hope that he is okay, but he is getting the medical attention he needs. A helicopter got him to the med center as quickly as they could. So I'm looking for other questions here. If you have any, feel free to get them to us here, type them in, and we'll answer them as we know. And we're getting new information here all the time. So we're standing here in a digital center, which is right in the middle of the newsroom, and getting new information as quickly as we can. So let's reset here. If you're just joining us on our digital platforms this morning, this is Russ Lewis. I'm in the KHOU newsroom here, where we have a great digital setup to bring you developing breaking news stories just like the one we're talking about here. This is happening up in Liberty County, started about 8 this morning. We have a guy who walked into a plumbing business on FM 321, shot a woman there. She died, unfortunately. A couple of guys who came into the business just walked in. They were also shot. This guy then took off. A deputy responding to this shooting encountered the suspect at a veterinary clinic in the parking lot, not far away, also on FM 321, not far from where the plumbing place is, and they exchanged gunfire. We don't know if this suspect was hit. We do know the deputy was shot in the neck, and a Life Flight helicopter took him to Memorial Hermann Med Center. We're leaving the suspect's picture up here so you can just see who this guy is. Pablo Vito is this guy's name, and he is the guy who was wanted for doing all this up there. And we think he's driving a 2004 white Mercury vehicle. 2004 white Mercury. Pablo Vito is this guy's name, and we'll get back here with more information as soon as we get it. But again, also, if you have kids in Cleveland ISD or Tarkington ISD, they are on lock-in right now. The entire districts are on lock-in. And what that means is, if this is the first time you've encountered something like this, is that nobody's getting out of that building. The kids, the staff, anybody who's at that school, wherever they are, they're not going to be allowed to leave. And the districts are saying they're going to keep this in place until this guy's apprehended. You got a guy out here who's already shot a deputy and other people, clearly armed and willing to shoot at people, so that they don't want any kids or staff outside of any buildings just in case this guy is nearby, and we don't know where he is. So that's why everyone is being kept inside. We haven't heard from the district about what they want parents to do, but generally in these situations, the last thing they want is for you to show up at the school trying to see if your child is okay or trying to take your child out of school. They won't allow that, and I think you would just be causing more problems if you showed up at school at this point. But we haven't heard of any problems at any schools. Everything's fine there. They're just doing this as a precaution until deputies are able to track this guy down. So we're going to leave this up on our screen. We're going to go away live for now, but we're going to leave this up here so you can see who Pablo Vito is, what he looks like, that 2004 white Mercury. If you see that, call 911 so they can get this guy in handcuffs as quickly as possible. We will break back in here on our digital platforms at KHOU just as soon as we get more information. So I'm Russ Lewis. We'll talk to you soon.
Oh, I mean, it's hard to describe. It's like the worst kind of fear you could feel. I mean, really. I mean, that's one of your brothers and sisters out there. It's heart-wrenching.
How about a quick, like a routine call can just take a turn like that?
Split second. You never know. You never know. I mean, and it seems like it's getting worse.
Have you heard anything from the gentleman? Do you know his condition?
I've heard that he's stable. I mean, this, of course, this is Liberty County's situation, so I'm going to be respectful to them and let them release that information. But last I heard, he's stable, and family is in there, so that's all I've got right now.
And you were talking about the brotherhood that you agencies have with one another. What's
Yeah.
the mood like inside? Because I know it's not just you. There's a number of agencies
Right,
inside
right.
now.
It's the same. Everybody's at this point. I think they're more relieved than anything else because you just don't know, you know. So we just all of us in East Montgomery County, you know, all of Montgomery County, Liberty County, we all work very closely together, and so we say it's we're, you know, same department with different patches, you know. So it's if it affects one, it affects all of us.
Chief, what is your name, please?
Shannon Sharp, City of Patton Village.
Shannon Short?
Yep, just like the football player.
Very nice. Patton Village.
Yes, sir.
Very good, very good.
And then last question: when you hear something like this happen, as a chief, you know, thinking that this could have been one of your men, what goes through you?
Well, I mean that's the Chiefs' worst nightmare. Of course, we having one of your own, but I mean it really couldn't be much worse than this already. I mean seriously, I mean he's in Cleveland. It's 10 minutes down the road, and so it's something that we know it's always a possibility, but we never want to have that happen to any police officer, especially our own.
Did you speak with the sheriff?
Yes, he's good. He's good. Yes, ma'am. And he'll be out here to talk to you guys just a little. Either him or a representative will be out here to talk to you.
Thank you.
All right, we got to get to work.
Is it spelled the same way?
No, he's got an E on the end.
Yours is
Yours is ARP.